Hello everybody and welcome to my new video about Blend4Web. I've already chosen Blend4Web render engine here. I have the SDK, so for this quick video I'll use the project manager. I'll create a new project. It will be simple interaction. That's not the convention they use in Blend4Web, so I'll do that correctly. I'll create starter files, copy project management script, no, and it will be a bundle project, and I shall create it. Okay, back to project. I have simple interaction, and here is the blend file we're going to work with. So again, this is the default blend file in the Blend4Web render engine. So I'm going to select this cube, press Shift D to duplicate it, G, X and Control to move it on the X-axis, one blender unit at a time. I'm going to press S and 0.5 to scale it down so that we can differentiate them easily. Don't know if that makes sense, but anyway. So what I want to do is use this cube to make this cube appear and disappear. So first of all, I'm going to rename it so that in my nodes, I won't be looking for cube 111, but for controller. Ta-ta-tam. Okay. And this will stay cube. Well, I think that's all for the setup. Control left arrow to change the layout of the screen. And so we were in default, and I chose to go to compositing because there's a nice big node editing window. So things you should know, you have to go into scene and enable logic editor, and also you can create a logic tree. You'll find it here, node tree, and you have to select the Blend4Web node tree. So control up arrow to go full screen, N to hide the properties panel, and we have an entry point. So say this is our scene. We are going to have to add a logic node. First of all, I want to hide the cube. That's it. I could do it the other way around, but I prefer using the widget to hide it than to reveal it than to hide it. Makes more sense, I find. So what's next? We're going here to add logic nodes, A, switch select. This switch select node is used to check if you are selecting a special object in your scene. So we're going to select the controller by clicking on it. It has two outputs, hit or miss. So if you hit it, something happens and you put the nodes behind. If you miss, well, something could happen or nothing happens. If you leave the miss output like that going nowhere or in a dead end, well, if you click on another object, it won't be this one that's selected. It will be considered as a miss and your application closes. So to prevent that, let's first of all do add layout, use a reroute just to make it look nicer. Shift D to duplicate it. And if you miss, well, you're going to try again. See, so if you miss the controller and you selected another object, you could add nodes to play an animation, do something, move the controller, make it shake. But we're not going to do that in this video. So middle mouse button and you can drag the scene. After that, we're going to add again, logic nodes. So I'm going to use a Boolean logic. So Booleans are usually have two values. They're variables with two values, true and false. This one is going to be true if it's 1 and false if it's 0 or 2, because I'm going to have to use it this way. So it will only be true if it's 1. So math operation and conditional jump. Let's see that. So if I hit the controller, I can use built-in variables. R1 is going to be, we're going to add 1 to it. And the destination variable is R1. All these R1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are built-in registry variables. So you can use these in your application. And if you need more, you can create your own variables. So next, we'll use a conditional jump. This has also two outputs, true or false. So we're going to check if something is equal to something else. And the first thing we're going to check is the variable if R1 is equal to 1. If this is true, in this logic, it should mean that it's the first time we're hitting the controller. We're adding 1, because by default the value is 0. So the first time we click, we add 1, it's true. The second time we will add 1 again, it will be false, because it won't be equal to 1 anymore. And we'll start again. So let's say this is true. Let's go to the add button, logic nodes. If this is true, we show our object. So true. And the object we're going to show is cube. Next, well, we're going to reroute it into the end, into this input of the switch select. If not, this would be the end of the application. You can use it this way if you just want to reveal a couple of objects in the scene. Well, you wouldn't even need the math operations. You would just switch select. If I hit, show this one. And you could add switch select sockets so that if you hit different objects, you see, well, you could create new routes. Anyway, I'm just going to use one. I'm going to go into add, layout, reroute. I'm going to go with the top way, Shift D to duplicate it. Next, I'm going to check if I click the controller. I'm going to add 1 again. It's going to be equal to 2. So now the answer to this question, to this node, the output of this node is false. It's not really, don't know if you can say they're asking questions or what. So you would hide your object. Of course, sorry, add logic node, hide object. If you don't have your node editor full screen, you may have to scroll up and down this selector. I'll show you what I mean here. Add logic nodes, and there are some on top and some below. Just to let you know, control up. If it's false, so we hide the object is cube, and before we reroute, so that next time my conditional jump can be true, I will go into add logic nodes and select variable store. What this is going to do, this gives a variable a value. I'm going to give R1 the value of 0, which makes this conditional jump true again next time we click on the controller, because we will add 1 to 0, it will be equal to 1, and it will be true. So we show the object. Next time we add 1, it's equal to 2, it's false, equal to 0, equal to 1, we show. So we're going round the loop, nice and easy. So let's go back and add logic node. Layout, reroute. Shift D to duplicate it. I'll try to keep this as tidy as I can, but it's not really my speciality. I noticed that to move one of these reroute, it's easier to press G than to try and select it and move it. They tend to unplug or, deconnect. This one can come a bit closer here, and this one, see? This way. So, back to previous. This brings us out of the full screen mode. If I go back to the default layout, there is one thing that you have to notice, is that there is now in the 3D view a fast preview option, which is quite convenient. Blend4Web, you've seen it disappear here, so now I reveal it, I hide it, I reveal it, I hide it. Equals 1, equals 2, equals 1, equals 2. Oh, no. Yeah. This equals 2 and nil. 1, 2 and nil. 1, 2 and nil. Okay, so that's the logic of the node editor. Let's go full screen again. That's a really simple layout, but that's how you can use variables in the node editor. Of course, you could use different operations with the math node. You can divide, subtract, multiply, or have a random input. I'm not quite sure how this one works. I didn't check it, so better not say something stupid. And the conditional jump has all the greater than or equal, less than or equal, greater than, less than, not equal, equal. So just like in a simple script, maybe you could check if hip is less or equal than 3, and if it's false, print hooray, and you would have a hip 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 hooray application. So thanks very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be to follow the updates, and well, that's it for now.